Recording in progress.
Perfect. Okay, so this is going to be recording from either my iPhone or my computer. I don't really know. So thank you guys for being here. You were all invited by somebody, and it was probably because you're seeing all these people talking about this 2-hour workday where they are averaging $900 a day, and you're real curious about what this is. Maybe you have seen people talking about this for a while. Maybe you just saw them talking about it today. Either way, super glad you're here. So my name is Victoria, and I found this whole digital marketing thing about 2 years ago now. And I was just like a lot of you, struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. Tell me in the comments, how many of you have littles at home? I have 3 little boys, and 2 of them are special needs. One is a tiny tot tornado. And so I was just like constantly going haywire, trying to raise them and race them and do all the things that come with being a mama. But then also, my husband is active duty Army. And so we were living off of basically his income. And once I started having kids, I'm giving y'all a little bit of my story before I kind of get into what this is. Okay. Once I started having kids, I was looking for the best way to make money online. And so I tried everything. You guys tell me in the comments if you have already tried any kind of work from home job, anything at all. How many of you have tried something? So for me, I spent 7 years doing the whole network marketing thing. Okay. Some of y'all might call that MLM or pyramid, whatever you want to call it. I did that for 7 years because I thought that it was the only way to make money online. And I'll be honest with you, I enjoyed the things that came with it. I enjoyed like the company, I liked the products, I liked, the camaraderie. But when it really came down to having that financial freedom and having that time freedom, I was lacking big time in both of those, because what I really had to do to make a really good income there was I had to have my face glued to my phone. Oh, hang on a second, you guys. My son is calling me. Let me just tell my husband to deal with it. Hang on. Hey, Jared. Hey, Jared. Abel keeps calling me. Thank you. Literally, y'all, this is my life. I am like living proof that if I can do this, anybody can do this. Facts, real life, right? So I did the whole network marketing thing, had my face glued to my phone, doing the parties, the cold messages, the recruiting, those spammy posts, whatever you want to call it. And I was making pennies to the dollar. All right. Literally, I was making $7 anytime that I would sell a mascara. Meanwhile, like this is why, and I'll get into this in a minute, but like everybody up top was making the most, you know what I mean? And then you have a downline and a team, and everybody is just kind of like profiting off of everybody. So for me, I had major burnout because I wasn't having the time with my kids that I wanted, and I wasn't getting paid what I felt like I should have been paid, and so because I was so majorly burnt out, I started looking at all these other ways to make money online. And I tried those quickly emails. Anybody else, have you done that? I did that. I started my own online boutique because I said, okay, I want to find a way to make 100% profit. So I'm not just making 25% off of whatever I'm selling. I want to make 100% profit. And so I started my own online boutique because I'm like, it's 100%. So I went from making $7 on a mascara to then making $20 on a top. And with that, though, I still had to find customers, I still had to ship orders, I still had to do all of the things. And I still wasn't getting that time or financial freedom that I really wanted. And then here's what ended up happening for me. I saw this girl make 40 grand in 2 months. I never knew who she was. She just started showing up in my newsfeed, and I kept seeing her profiting and profiting and profiting. And so I said, okay, whatever you're doing sounds too good to be true. Because how in the world is somebody making 40 grand in 2 months as a stay-at-home mom, and she's talking about how she's only working 2 hours a day. I was just like so many of you. I said, yeah, right. I said, sounds too good to be true. I called it an SCAM. I guess I can say that on Zoom. Like, I can't say it on TikTok. I called it a scam. I called it a pyramid. I called it an MLM. Why? Because I didn't understand this whole digital marketing thing. That's what I'm going to teach you guys tonight. Okay. So essentially, when I started this, because I went from being super, super skeptical, like I said, we were struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. And at the time I saw this girl, I had not made a sale in my online boutique for 6 weeks. And y'all know when it rains, it pours. All at once, I needed a new transmission in my car, needed to pay for 4 new tires and 6 rental cars, and we couldn't afford it. And so I go to my husband and I'm like, hey, there's this other online job. And he's like, oh, another one. And I'm like, yeah, but I have a feeling about this one, right? Don't we all? We always have a feeling. But I had a feeling this would be my ticket. And so the way that most people work is you don't actually start something until you've hit rock bottom. And this was my rock bottom. And I said, if I can start this and if I can make $1,200 a month, I'll be happy. I'll be able to like contribute to my family. I'll be able to pay off like our debt over time and all of that. In my very first month doing this crazy 2 hour workday, I made $29,000. More than I made the year before with my online boutique, more than I had ever made doing network marketing in a year, right? 29 grand. By 5 months, by the end of the year, I hit my first 6 figures. And now I'm sitting here just under or just over 2 years in. July 19th was 2 years for me, and I'm closing in on $600,000. I went from being broke to paying off all of our debt, taking my family on all the trips that we wanted. We built a house. Y'all get this. When I started this, we were renting and had no savings. And now we built a house. 8 months later, we were able to pay that house off in a private gated golf community. Never did I ever think that this would happen for me. And if you're sitting there saying, well, that must be nice, sounds too good to be true, listen up, because there are thousands of people here that are seeing the same success. So let's get into this. What exactly is this digital marketing thing, right? So essentially it is marketing or promoting anything that is on, or marketing or promoting anything on all social media platforms. What you do with it is going to be completely up to you, you guys. So I relate this all the time to a college course. How many of you went to college? Anybody? I threw 50 grand away on a degree and I never even used it. Isn't that crazy? Yep. Ashley went to college. Yep. You went to college. I see it. I see it, you guys. Statistically speaking, 41% of people actually use their degree. Isn't that wild? And yet we live in a society that says you need to go to college, you need to get a good degree so then you can go and get that 9 to 5 salary job. Why? So then you can go and work more to make more, because like 9 times out of 10, you're going to need a second job or a third job just to make ends meet. We are so trained to believe this way by society. Okay. And so what this is, you're essentially getting this college course that is going to teach you the skills to market anything on social media. So, for example, I have business owners, I have realtors, boutique owners, handyman businesses, all these people who just want to get the program to learn the skills to market a business. They don't care about reselling anything. Okay. And then I have people that want to learn how to make their own digital product, or they want to learn how to make their own digital program or course or something like that, right? And so then they will get this. So what exactly is the Legacy Builder 2.0? Well, it is a program that is going to teach you those skills to market on all social media platforms. So you can market something you have, or learn to make your own digital product, or you can market the program because you get 100% of the resale rights. which means you can make 100% profit. Drop a 3 if you are somebody that is not techie, you don't want to make your own thing, and you're just like, if I can stamp my name on something and learn the skills to market it to average $900 a day, that's what I want to do. Drop a 3 if this is you, okay? So let's keep going. How is this different than an MLM? This is like one of the #1 questions that I get asked all of the time. And it's usually because people don't understand. MLM stands for multi-level marketing. Again, you guys, I have absolutely no hate on MLM. I think it is a brilliant business model. It was not for me. Okay. So multi-level marketing. This is why people will call this a pyramid. So you have uplines up here and you have a company up here. Can you guys see me? Like I might be in a little box, okay? But you have uplines up here, you have a company up here, and so they make the most. You know what I mean? And so every sale that you make, absolutely, Nancy, you're so right. Every company is shaped like an MLM, but not here, okay? So you have your upline and the company up here. You are somewhere in the middle. And so every sale that you make, you're making 25 to 50% profit. And then you're recruiting and you're growing a team down here and you're profiting off of their efforts. Okay. This is why it's a pyramid. It's shaped like a pyramid, multi-level marketing. But with digital marketing, there's no levels. You make 100% profit. It goes straight to you. No one else makes any profit off of your efforts, and there's no team building. So for example, if you were to get a program tonight, like there's no upline that's going to profit off of this, right? Every sale that you make, it's going to go straight to your account. I don't see a dime of it. Nobody else. It is the most beautiful thing. Okay. So now let's talk real fast about how, like, is digital marketing oversaturated? Y'all, this is another question that I get all the time. This is so cool because if you are seeing all these people talking about this, a lot of people tend to think, yep, I see you, Gil. A lot of people tend to think that digital marketing is oversaturated when in reality, this is just your algorithm. If you are seeing a lot of people doing digital marketing, it's just because whatever social media platform you're on, they have shown that to you before, and you have either read that post or you have clicked into that post or you have looked at it, or you know how your phone can be really creepy sometimes, and like you could just say something in a conversation with somebody and then it's going to start showing it to you more. That's your algorithm. Okay. When in reality, we are not even 1% saturated. There are 5.2 billion people on social media. And so market saturation does not happen until 70% of that entire market would need to be doing this. That means 3,350,000,000 people would need to be doing this. I need to change that number now. We're now at 55,000 people in our community. So we're still not even close to 1% saturation, you guys, and we are never going to see oversaturation in our lifetime. Think about how long it would take for 3,350,000,000 people to be doing this. It's never going to happen, right? This is exactly why Forbes has even predicted digital marketing to skyrocket. It is going to be worth 1.5 trillion by the year 2030. Okay. So I want to stop sharing real fast, and I actually want my girl Ashley to come share with you. I wonder if I need to unmute you here. I think. Tell me if that worked.
I think so. Did it work?
Okay. So I want you guys to hear from Ashley for a minute because just like me, she is a busy mama, but her story is really freaking incredible. And I remember when we first started talking, and again, like the beautiful thing about this is Ashley never knew me. Like she was on the other side of the country, right? all of a sudden my posts started showing up in her newsfeed, because you're going to learn the skills to attract customers. Okay. And so she never knew me, and she was just a mama that really wanted more for her life. She wanted that freedom to stay home with her babies. And so it's really cool. And now she's made, how much have you made now?
Over $160,000, which is
Exactly.
crazy. Crazy. Oh my gosh. Oh, thank you for letting me share. So really quick, you
Yes.
guys, like, I want to know, go ahead and drop it in the comments if you're like, oh, I don't know about this, because I don't know about creating content because I'm not an influencer or I'm not a content creator. That was one of my biggest hesitations. But I want to tell you guys something exactly like what Victoria said. This teaches you how to create content for your customer. And I feel like, honestly, Victoria and I are the perfect example of that. Like, I am a cookie cutter perfect customer for Victoria. I've tried the same mascara that she did. I tried my own boutique. I've tried so many different things. My husband was in the military. I've got 3 kids. She's got 3 kids. Like, literally cookie cutter perfect customer. Okay. And it has taught her how to create content that spoke to me, and it changed her life and it changed my life, and like so on and so on. Okay. So really quick little backstory about me, you guys. I have 15 years experience in healthcare. When I first started this, we were drowning. I was drowning in debt. I was drowning in mom guilt and all the things. At the time when I started this, my oldest daughter was she was 4, and I had missed all 4 Christmases of her life. Okay. I had just had baby number 3, and he needed a medical procedure done that insurance didn't cover, and we didn't have the money. Straight up, there wasn't an emergency fund. There wasn't a credit card we could max out. We did not have an option to pay for this. And I felt like a failure. I literally felt like a POS. And I had to ask to borrow money, and it sucked. And I vowed right then and there that I would do whatever it takes to never be in that position again. I had no idea what that would look like. I thought it would look like more night shifts, more weekends, more holidays, all the things. I was always the one to volunteer for Christmas, to work Christmas, because I needed that double time. I needed that holiday shift differential, right? Even though it was like not that great. And while I'm in the depths of this, right, my, like, I call it my hot, messy, stressy, depressy version of myself. I was the mama. Does anyone else do this? I would check my phone, my bank account, before I even got out of bed, like, to see if we were A, already overdraft, or B, if I could pay even half of a bill, or if I could grab a couple things from the grocery store, or if I could fill my tank or only put $10 in my gas tank. I was checking that the moment that my eyes opened. And I hated it, but I didn't know that anything else existed. I grew up like, y'all, my parents have been self-employed my whole life. I'm one of 8 kids. We did not grow up with a lot of money. And I remember my dad saying, like, if it sounds too good to be true, it is. If you're broke, you go get another job. You hustle harder, right? That was what has been drilled into me since I was a teeny tiny tot. And I didn't want to do that. I was doing that, and that American dream wasn't feeling so dreamy, right? It kind of hurt going to work, doing these crazy 12-hour shifts. I was lucky if I got to see my kids 20 minutes a day. And that's not it, y'all. Like, that is not why I had kids. I had kids so that I could be the mama. I could be the version of me that they deserved. And that's not what I was. Even like Victoria said, when I was doing my MLMs, I was like, all right, hosting parties, and my kids, they'd come up and they'd be like, Mom, can I do this? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, and she's like, I asked you a question, but I was so glued to my phone, begging people, hey, will you check out my products? Hey, I think you'd love this. Hey, do you need a refill on mascara? Right? I was pushy, I was spammy, all of the things that I didn't like for these tiny little commissions. And then, right, I'm in the depths of all of this, and I see this girl, Victoria, posting on Facebook, and she posts, just made $5,000 while out of the country on vacation with my husband. And I'm in the depths of my struggles. And I see that post, and I'm like, good for you. Like, whoop-de-doo. Do you want a sticker? I'm like, it must be nice, Victoria. It must be nice. But I needed that. Like, that woke me up, and it forced me to have this like tough love conversation with myself. I had to like hold myself by the face, look myself in the mirror, and say, Ashley, what you're doing is not working. Look, there is something that works out there for another mama. And so I asked her, I slid into her DMs. She never like cold messaged me and was pushy with me. I said, okay, help a sister out. Like, what is this? And she said, it's digital marketing. And I said, that's not for me. You guys, when you hear digital marketing, what does that make you think? To me, I thought that sounds techie. That sounds time consuming. That sounds like you have to be this perfectly put together influencer. And I told Victoria, I gave her all of these excuses, right? I was like, oh, I can't do that. I've got 3 kids. She's like, yeah, me too. And I was like, well, I've tried MLMs before. She's like, yeah, me too. And I'm like, well, I've tried my boutique and it's really struggling. She's like, yeah, me too, right? And I was like, okay, well, she's shooting down every excuse that I come up with left and right. And I've got no more excuses left. It simply is. And so I asked her, this was my biggest question. I said, okay, what's the commission? What's the percentage? Because I'm so tired of stretching myself thin for 10, 20% commission. She goes, girl, it's 100% from day one. And I was like, what? I didn't even understand how that worked because I'd been so conditioned by the MLM space. So she explained it to me. And honestly, you guys, like the idea of buy a product, sell a product, make 100% profit every time you sell it and sell it over and over seemed brilliant. I want you to know that that's only about 50% of what you can do with this education. But where I was at that time, I was like, heck yes, absolutely. Sign me up. I need to learn how to do that. I need this strategy. I want to sell something that someone else made. I don't want to pack things. I don't want to have to worry about inventory. Anyone else. Like, to me, that sounds like the definition of working smarter, not harder, right? And so I was down. And like Victoria said, I've had people that have gotten this from me with zero intention of ever reselling it again. And now that I've learned the skills that I've learned how to do from this, I have multiple streams of income, not just reselling this program, that I would have no idea how to do if it weren't for what I've learned inside of this, from the coaching and the mentoring inside of this. Like Victoria said, I'm not good at tech. I started a brand new account with 0 followers. And you guys, if you've ever seen me like on TikTok or any social media, let me know in the comments. Like a majority of my content, I'm doing it in my PJs with peanut butter on my shirt. I'm doing it in the school pickup line, as if a 2-hour workday that we can do from our phone is not good enough. The fact that you can split it up around whatever you want your life to look like. Maybe you're not a stay-at-home mom. Maybe you're a blue-collar dad and you've got like 20 minutes on lunch that you get to work, okay? The fact that you can put this into the pockets of your life is huge. Like, honestly, that is what gives you the flexibility and the freedom that you will never experience at a 9-to-5. And point blank, period, it got to this point and I decided I will never again ask a job, a boss, my manager, my coworkers, if I can stay home and take care of my sick kids, if I can leave 20 minutes early to make it to my kids' Christmas concert, if I can switch a shift to make it to my kids' first field trip, I will never again give anybody the ability to choose those decisions for me. Okay. So this gives you that flexibility and to put the value on your time. And I say it all the time, like, yes, you guys, like when I started this, I call it my silly little pipe dream. I was hoping to make an extra $600 a month. If I could figure out how to do that, that was going to pay my car payment and my daughter's school tuition. And here I am, I'm having anywhere from $5,000 to $20,000 months on repeat as an everyday average mama working around mom life. Okay. And what I want you to know is that there is somebody out there waiting to relate to your story, just like I related to Victoria's story. If all I ever saw was perfectly put together influencers that had these beautiful offices and no kids squawking in the background, I would have never believed in myself. I needed another real life mama to be like, no, you can do this. Okay. So no matter what your story is, there's someone out there waiting to relate to you. And this system not only gives you everything you need, but it gives you the strategy for how to do this, like in a dot to dot, like connect the dots style, which is truly what I needed so that I didn't overcomplicate it and talk myself out of it. I don't know if you have anything specific you want me to answer, Victoria, but I'm just seriously so thankful for this, because when I tell you guys, like, yeah, I'm having these $5,000, $10,000, $20,000 months on repeat, that's cool. Like, don't get me wrong. That is great, you guys. Like, we went on vacation last month. I'm taking my kids on vacay again on Tuesday for a week long. And the biggest thing though, I want you to know is this gave my kids their mom back. This gave my kids a version of me that they didn't get to see. They saw that stressed version of me. I was that mama that was constantly snapping at my kids for spilling their juice, for being noisy, for being kids, right? Because I was so like overwhelmed, overstimulated, burnt out. I was the wife that was constantly nagging my husband for spending $5 on an energy drink when we didn't have $5. And just being able to take that stress off has been huge. And that's what I want you to know, right? Like, you guys are probably sitting here listening to us and you're like, yeah, it must be nice. And I get it because I was there. Must be nice, Victoria. Must be nice,
Yeah.
Ashley. But it is nice. And every single one of you deserve that. And we want to see that for you too.
Oh, friend, I love your story so, so much. And I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And I can't wait to meet you in October. It's gonna be so, so awesome. So if you guys can relate with any of this, like what I've said, what Ashley said, go ahead and say yes in the comments. And we're gonna keep moving forward. But I want you to know too, like while we are on this call, that I am also going to teach you guys the skills to make 5 to 10 grand in August. Y'all tell me in the comments, what would that actually do for you? If you could learn how to make 5 to 10 grand in August, okay? What would you do with that? So I'm gonna go ahead and you take your sister to Italy, Nancy. That is like my next goal. Well, so my next one, I'm getting me a Yukon Denali, and then we're gonna start planning some trips and all of that good stuff. I love that. All right, I am going to go back to sharing this because I want you guys to see, and then I'm gonna have my friend Beth share in a few minutes too, because I want y'all to see what she's actually done with the program besides just reselling. All right, and so here we go. So what exactly do you get inside of the program? So you are going to have a complete done for you program. What that means is that when you get your program, it is going to walk you through Barney style. It's going to tell you do this on day 1, this on day 2, this on day 3. A lot of other like courses and programs that I had looked into because I'm a super analytical person. A lot of them, they're going to teach you how to set up a website, how to create your own email funnels. This one, your website is going to be created for you. Your email funnels are going to be done for you. You're actually going to get 30 emails, and I'll explain exactly what email funnels are in a minute if you don't know. You'll learn high ticket marketing strategies that you can use on all social media platforms. You will learn our copy and paste free ad method to start attracting customers. That specifically is great if you want to do this faceless. You'll learn how to brand yourself. You will learn how to identify and attract your ideal customer. Content editing on social media. You'll get our Canva crash course, access to our community with daily mentorship and guidance from other 6 and 7 figure income earners. That part, let me talk about that for a second because that is huge. Because I know what one of my concerns was, I was like, okay, well, if I'm getting this and like I'm making 100% profit and nobody's like profiting off of my efforts at all, why would anyone want to help me, right? What we have here is such a genuine community of people who really truly care about helping you succeed, and it is the coolest thing to see. All of these people, it's global, right? All these people from all over the world who want to help y'all win too. And you'll learn how to build an email list of up to 20,000 subscribers. I want to talk about that email list for a hot second. All right. So email funnels. How many of you are subscribed to any email list anywhere? You get emails from Nike or a boutique or Amazon, or you're getting emails for something, or you've gone to a website to do some shopping, and then it pops up the little bubble that's like, put your email in if you want 20% off. You know what I mean? It is a marketing tactic. It's a marketing strategy. And so this is why you put your email in, and then they're going to email you a coupon. But guess what else they're going to do? They're going to add your email to their email list, right? The cool thing with this is because you'll have your emails that are already created and done for you. So then when you start doing the marketing strategies, and when somebody comes to you, you don't go to them. When somebody comes to you and says, like, hey, Ashley, give me some info on what you do, you're just going to say, hey, here's my link. And then what they're going to do is they're going to go to her link, they're going to put their email in, and then they are automatically on your email list. So your email funnels will do all of the follow-up work for you. That is the beautiful thing about automations, you guys, because it's why you only need to work 2 hours a day and you never need to follow up with anybody. Okay. So, hang on. Next page. Where are we going? Okay. So what exactly is a 2-hour workday? I want to share this with you guys real fast. And then I'm going to have my friend Bethany share, and then I will go into exactly what we'll do this month to make 5 to 10 grand in August. So what is the 2-hour workday? You can make faceless content. How many of you have ever heard somebody say that you can do digital marketing without showing your face? Anybody? So I want y'all to be so clear, so clear about what it actually takes to succeed. And this is why I am always fully transparent on this. Anybody else that has invited you here, hopefully they are being fully transparent with you about what it takes to succeed as well. So you can do this faceless, and you can still make a really good income doing it faceless, right? We have people inside of our community that are making thousands without ever showing their face. However, I would never say that you could make 6 figures without showing your face, just because the marketing is totally different. Now, has anybody ever made 6 figures without showing their face? Sure. But you're going to see a whole heck of a lot more people hitting that number that are willing to create face forward content. So the faceless method is really like the slow cooker method. It'll take you longer to see results, and it might not be as much as you want to make. But if you have a CEO mentality, drop CEO in the comments. Okay. So if you want faster results, this is what you're going to do. Number one, I spend 20 to 30 minutes a day just creating content on social media. Now, like, literally, you are going to learn exactly what content to copy and paste. All right. So you are going to learn exactly what content to post. You know what? I'm going to do something. I hope that this is okay with everybody that's in here right now. I did not even ask this inside my community. I see y'all looking at me like, what is she about to say? I'm going to do something that's actually going to help everybody on here. Anybody who starts tonight, and I'll keep going with this in just a minute. I am going to give you, anybody that is on this call, I'm going to give you free lifetime access into my coaching. Doesn't matter who you're getting your program from on this call. I'm going to give you free lifetime access into my coaching. Okay. And so this is why I say, to do the content, you are just going to copy and paste. Inside of my coaching, I'm telling you exactly what content to create each day. Like, you just need to create it. All right. Drop me a 1 right now if you are willing to do that much. If it means that you can average 900 a day, you're willing to spend 20 to 30 minutes a day making content. Perfect. I see it. Awesome. The second part of my 2-hour workday, I go live. Now, this is the big scary L word that a lot of people are like, oh, Victoria, I don't know how I feel about that because I really don't want to get in front of the camera. Me either. Let me tell you guys something. I am naturally such an introvert. People don't know that about me because I have grown comfortable over time. You can't compare your beginning to somebody else's middle. Like, I'm in the middle of my journey, right? I have grown confident from doing the things consistently, okay? But I had to have, I say it was my come to Jesus moment. I had to have a come to Jesus moment where I had to say, is it worth it to me to make an income like that if it means I have to go live? Ask yourself that. Are you willing to get uncomfortable and go live every day if it means that you can make an income like that? Drop a 2 if you are, because I'm telling you, this is my full recipe on exactly what I do to average 900 a day. And this is what I coach y'all on inside of my community as well. So anybody who starts tonight, I'm going to give you free lifetime access in there. Okay. So like I said, drop a 1 if you're willing to make the content. Drop a 2. How often do you go live, Gail? I go live daily. And that's what I'm going to teach you guys too. Daily. And the reason for this, you guys, is how many of you on here are here because you saw somebody live? Wall or stories? Both. So and that's like kind of what I'm gonna teach you too. So there's a lot of people who start because they saw someone live, right? Yes, exactly. I see you. And so this is the beautiful thing about this. Typically what I do, and this is what I teach, when you are no, you're totally fine. I'm going to open it up for Q&A at the end as well. So what I teach is when you're going live, this is where you're able to connect with people, right? And so typically when I'm live, like, you say 2 things. You say, number 1, hey, if you're new here, hit the follow button. This is how you're going to grow. This is how you're going to get people to follow you. And then I'll say, number 2, go to my link, right? And so you'll tell people, hey, go to your link. You're going to say it while you're live. Why does this work? Because when they're seeing you live, they're able to connect with you. Okay. And then you're telling them to go to your link. And so it's like a one-time interaction. They're like, okay, I'll go right there. They plug their email in, and now they're on your email list. You're done. Now your emails do all the follow-up with your prospects, okay? And then you're creating the content as additional follow-up with your prospects, because typically it's just going to be your followers that are going to see your content. So for example, like when you're creating your content, say you're making a video, and I mean, y'all, we're living in the most digital age. I could make a video, sit here like this, and just look at the wall, record a video for 5 seconds. Okay. I'll put a trending sound on the screen, and then you're going to copy and paste exactly what I'm giving you to say inside of my coaching community. Okay. You're just going to copy and paste that. And so then when somebody comments and asks for info, you're going to say, hey, go to my link. Same thing. So typically it's going to be the people that are on your lives that are going to follow you, right? And they're going to plug their email in. And then when you're creating the content, it's like that secondhand follow-up. Okay. The third thing that I do every single day is I just plug into the training inside of the community to learn the marketing skills. Now, this, like, if y'all are busy like me, or if you have tiny people that are running around, then all that I do is I will just listen to the coaching, or I'll listen to the training when I'm driving my kids to school, when I'm sitting in the carpool line, when I'm doing dishes or cooking or cleaning. I'll just put it on and listen. How many of you are willing to do all 3 of those things if it means that you can average 900 bucks a day? Drop a 3 if this is you. You're willing to make the content. You're willing to go live. You are willing to plug into training every single day if it means that you can average $900 a day. I see those 3s. My friends, listen to me right now. If you just dropped a 3, there is absolutely no reason at all why you should not be making 6 figures in the digital marketing space. You know yourself, you know your work ethic, You know what you are and are not willing to do. And you just said, I'm willing to do it, right? This is why I get so many people that will say, okay, well, can you guarantee me that I'm going to make six figures? Nope. Here's why. It depends on your work ethic. This is why I break it down this way. And I tell you exactly what I do, exactly what it takes to succeed. Okay. Because it's no different than if I were to go and get a gym membership and say I just do my thing, do on the computer, and I sign up for the gym. And then I walk up to the counter and I say, hey, I just got this membership. Tell me when I'm going to get abs. Y'all, they would look at you sideways and be like, oh, are you gonna come to the gym? Or are you gonna actually work out? Are you gonna do the things? This is no different. They could give you a trainer, they could give you a plan to follow, but if you don't do it, you won't see the results. With this, it is so insanely simple. You just need to do it. Okay. And then everything else is going to follow through. So before I keep going, I want my friend Bethany to come and share because her story is really, really cool too. But one thing that I love so much is that she has used this program to make a digital product. And I'm really, really excited for that product. But that's why I say all the time that what you do with this is going to be completely up to you. Okay. So people always get the program for tons of different options. And so I want Bethany to just kind of share with you like what it's done for her.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We super appreciate y'all taking time out of your day to come join us, and we are never here to waste your time. So I came here a year and a half ago as a burnt out, stressed out, struggling stay-at-home mom. Okay. I had been a stay-at-home mom for 11 years, and people hear that you're a stay-at-home mom. They're like, oh, you're so lucky. You're so blessed. All these different things. And yes, the biggest blessing in the world to be a stay-at-home mom. But I've never been just a stay-at-home mom. I've always dealt with the stress and the guilt of being a family of, right now, we're a family of 6 living off one income. And y'all, it's exhausting to budget every single penny. I always say being frugal Francie, okay? That crazy couponing show back in the day, extreme couponing on TLC, that was me. I had the binder. I had the coupons. I had the small stockpile. I've made our kids baby food and done everything that I possibly could that was going to save us every single cent that we could. And that's exhausting. I've done an MLM. I've done the craft business out of my house. I've babysat. I've cleaned for people. And y'all, my resume is literally stay-at-home mom for 11 years and a church secretary for a little while. I was scared to death when I saw this online. I saw people talking about making money online because I thought, well, I don't have a fancy degree. I don't have a big, long resume. I have no experience. How am I going to be able to do that? So when I scrolled across my girl one day, she was a stay-at-home mom. She was a Christian. She was a hot mess. And I was like, wow, she had made 10 grand in 2 months. And I was like, okay, if I could just make $1,000 a month, that's going to pay our mortgage. That's going to give us some wiggle room in that very strict budget that we had. And it was just going to allow us to breathe. My husband's a blue collar factory worker. So he works nights, days, holidays, weekends, overtime, all the things. Not only was he doing that, he was doing stuff on the side. He was power washing houses. He was mowing yards, and we were never seeing him. And I was getting to be a stay-at-home mom, and I was sitting there feeling so much guilt because I'm like, I have my babies with me 24/7, but he's not with us. So that's not worth it. So I got to figure something else out. We live on a farm in Missouri, and this is what pushed me because I scrolled and I watched and I Googled and I YouTubed, and I would scroll across people and I would watch all their videos, hoping and praying they were going to tell me how they were going to make money online. I got all those freebies. And you guys, this farm that we live on in Missouri was struggling. We're trying to be first generation farmers. And if y'all know anything about farming, it's not for the faint of heart. Okay, guys, like it's inflation, huge hit on us financially. 2 years of a drought wiped us out. Okay. And that's a really hard thing to admit. That's a hard pill to swallow when you're laying in bed with your husband crying and praying and trying to figure out how you're going to make it work. Okay. We sold off 80 acres of our farm. The hardest thing we did in our 13 years of marriage. I sat there feeling like a failure. I sat there feeling like I let him down, like I let my kids down. We got 4 kids. They live and breathe this farm, the dirt, the cows, the water, all the things. Like they just live outside. And I did not want to be sitting there 1 year from now, worried and stressed about are we going to have to sell off the rest of the farm in our home and completely uproot our family? So I quit watching because, like Victoria said, rock bottom. That was my rock bottom. Unfortunately, sometimes that's what it takes for some of us to start. I was sick and tired of being where I was, and I didn't want to be there anymore. So I had to do something to change it. So was this out of my comfort zone? 100% yes. Victoria just told you everything you got to do. Okay. I saw that and was like, oh, I'm really shy. I'm really introverted. I'm really quiet. And my husband, when I brought it to him, he literally laughed. Not in a mean way, but he was like, honey, you're like the last person I would ever see doing this because you don't talk to nobody. Like, I'd never made a talking video a day in my life. I'm the quiet, shy girl in the corner. But I came here, I stepped out of my comfort zone and I told him, I said, well, honey, to get something you've never had, you got to do something you've never done, right? My best year I ever had in my craft business, I made $5,000. I was over the moon, so excited, you guys. But I made so many things. I spent so much time, and all of that wasn't profit. That was the material for the shirts and the vinyl and my time and all the things that went into it. My best month I've ever had here was $7,800. Like that is so much more than my husband makes in like 2 or 3 months. And I was able to do that from my phone in my pajamas most days, like Ashley said, with my kids on my hip in the background amongst crazy busy mom life. Flexibility was what I wanted and what I needed because the last thing I wanted to do, that's what pushed me. I didn't want to leave my kids. I didn't want to go get a 9 to 5 and pay a babysitter to raise them. I wanted to raise them. So it was like hell or high water. I'm coming here and I'm going to make it work. Okay. So I showed up for what I wanted. Those babies, my husband, and you guys, every single day, I do show up for them. We all come here for a selfish reason, right? Why are you all watching us and on here right now? Because you're clearly in a spot where you're needing more because it's hard to live in this world right now financially. Okay. But I want you to know something else. When you come here, it becomes so much more than just you. I come here and show up every single day because my girl showed up and she changed my life. I'm sitting here getting to be the mom that I wanted to be, the yes mom that can take my kids on vacation and do the putt-putt golf for his birthday and the go-karts and all the things and say yes when the book orders come in and send more than just paper plates and napkins to a school party. I can do the goodie bags and the food and all the things. It was those simple little things for me that I get to do now. And I know there's other moms that are out there just like me, but I sat there out there thinking I was the only mom that was going through that. We sit there in our little hole. I'm from a small town in Missouri, guys, middle of nowhere. And I think I'm the only one that's going through this. But when I came into this space, I realized I wasn't. I came into this space burnt out, stressed out, no energy. At the end of the day, as a stay-at-home mom, you're touched out, you're overstimulated, all the things. And like, you don't want to do anything. You maybe just want to binge watch your show or read a book or go to sleep. Okay. So plugging and playing on a done for you product was a no-brainer for me. I didn't want to spend time making something on my own. I wanted something I could immediately jump in and start earning and learning at the same time. But then 10 months in, I ate my own words. I said I was never going to make my own thing here because I did not want to do that. And 10 months in, after meeting all the amazing moms I was meeting here, I realized I wanted to help them in a different way. I wanted to help them in motherhood because motherhood is hard, okay? And I wanted to help them in their walk with Christ because that's hard too. And so I'm working on a 30-day devotional. Y'all, we are in the final trenches of it, of getting it finished. And it's because of this program, what it taught me. That consistency Victoria talked about, showing up every day with her videos, her lives, listening to that training and everything. Doing that is going to help you gain confidence. It's going to help you get more comfortable, and it's going to show you what you're capable of, friends. Okay. I came here with zero confidence, not believing in myself, not really thinking that I could do this. So scared. And now, like, I know anything is possible. I just got to do it. I just got to show up and make it happen. And the program equipped me with all of that. So if you want to come here and learn and earn, you can do that. If you want to come here and you want to make your own stuff, y'all, I scrolled across a girl the other day. She made a chicken coop. A chicken coop. She loves her chickens, and she made the most awesome coop that you can roll all around. She made a digital product, a plan for it. It comes with a video, the blueprint, the cut guide, everything. And she sells it for like $15, and she's made $60,000. You can turn whatever you love and have a passion for and an interest and a hobby into an income. And this program will help you with that. You don't have to do it right off the bat, just like I didn't, okay? But as you get more comfortable and confident, that's definitely a possibility down the road. Endless opportunities. And we're all sitting here as living proof. Nothing special, not lucky, just willing to show up and do it. because you being here right now, you're already doing more than so many people do. So many people are just even scared to even get the information. But once you get started, you're definitely doing way more than so many people do because so many people just sit there and wish. All right, Miss Victoria.
Sorry, friend. I'm like trying to figure out where to unmute. I just love you. I love your heart. I love your story. And seriously, it really is the most beautiful thing, like, to see how this unfolds for everybody, because everybody has a different vision. And what's really, really cool is that everybody's vision can kind of change as you get going with this too. So just like Bethany said, most of us, we start for selfish reasons, right? Like, we start because we need that income, and that's why I said most people start when they hit rock bottom. And like you've heard from all of us, like, we got to that point where we were sick and tired of being broken tired, and so we decided to start something new. But then, like, for me, as that's kind of gone on, my passion has turned from, okay, this is not just about my family, but this is about helping other people that are in that same pit and helping them discover that success too. Like Bethany said, hers now, has become developing these products that she didn't even think that she would make. So this is so many different things for so many different people. Let me hop back over here, and we are going to keep it going. Whoa. Hang on. All right. So what is the cost? Okay, so we've talked to you about, like, the program, what you actually get, what this has done, what our 2-hour workday actually looks like. But if you are a CEO, anybody that has ever made 6 or 7 figures, they will tell you they had to, 9 times out of 10, they had to invest in education somewhere along the way. This is why I say this is no different than a college course that's going to educate you. It's going to teach you the skills to market something. But the really cool thing is that you get 100% resale rights. And so these 4 options, whichever one you decide to go with, you will learn how to make 100% profit on. So for example, there's a 100, 300, 600, 900, and there are payment plans. Most of us offer payment plans as well. So you just need to reply to the person who invited you here to see their availability. I will be so honest with you guys about this. I personally never recommend the 100, just because the 100, it is bare bones basic. That is typically just going to teach you how to make your own social media platforms. It's going to help you with getting your website set up, your email funnel set up. But the crucial marketing strategies that you need to learn to start attracting customers to you, that is going to start at the 300. So at the 300, you're going to learn how to market on TikTok, that's amazing, Manny. You'll learn how to blah, blah, blah. You will learn to market on TikTok, on Facebook, on Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, you name it, all social media platforms. So you choose where you want to market, okay? At the 600, that is where you're going to start learning how to make 6 figures in 6 months. But the 900, that is the big mama, and you will be able to market all 4 of them at that level. And that is the biggest seller as well, because most people want to make the most profit. So at the 900, you are able to market the 9, 6, 3, and 100. And you are going to learn how to make 200 different digital products. You'll learn how to make your own course or program if that's something that you want to do. And here's what I always like to tell people too. You need to go into this thinking about what your customer would want, right? Because maybe you don't care about making digital products. I didn't. Maybe you don't care about making your own course or program. I didn't, but you better believe that I have a ton of people that go and get that one because they want it for that reason. Okay, so consider that when you are thinking about what you need and where you want to be. And then the other thing, like I said, starting tonight, well, not starting, but tonight, anybody who starts at the 900, anybody, if you purchase from anybody that is on this call, I am going to give you free lifetime access into my coaching community. That is usually $67 a month. And if you start tonight, you are going to get access to that for free. So I want to stop sharing real quick because now I just kind of want to break down for you. So what exactly does it look like to make 5 to 10 grand in August? Well, here's the math. Statistically, 1 in 20 leads will convert. So if you are going live and you were doing the 2-hour workday, and you are attracting those leads, okay, once they get into your sales funnel, and that's going to do all the follow-up, 1 in 20 convert. Do the math on this. Actually, I should have had a slide that like broke this math down. So if somebody can do the math on this and put it in the comments, that would be super helpful. But if you have 20 leads in 30 days and 1 in 20 convert, not 20 leads in 30 days, 20 leads every day for 30 days. Ashley, I see you thinking 20 leads for 30 days. So figure that is 1 customer a day. Okay. So 900 times 30. How much would that be making in 1 month? I want to see it in the comments. 900 times 30. $27,000. Look at that. $27,000. Okay. But here's the truth. Do most people make $27,000 a month here? No, y'all. Can you make $27,000 a month here? Yeah, you absolutely can. But this is why you'll hear people talking about daily pay. I personally never say daily pay because I have days where I will make a big fat goose egg, okay? I'll have a week where I will make nothing. And then all of a sudden, like 3 days ago, I had a $10,000 day. Prior to that, I had a week that was crickets. It ebbs and flows, okay? So this is why I say you're going to learn how to average. So if you want to make $5,000, that is going to be, tell me if I'm wrong, 5 or 6 customers. I think it's like 6 customers, okay? 6 customers in a month. So 20 times 6. I should have had this but you guys are getting the idea, right? You set the expectation. How much do you guys want to make in August? If you want to make 5 grand in August, okay, you are going to do 20 times 6. And then that's how many leads you need to get. And then divide that by the amount of days in August, okay? It is this simple to start making money online. So let me open this. Hang on. Thank you, Ashley. 120 leads is what you need for that. Only 4 leads a day. 4 leads a day can make you 5 grand in August. If you want to make 10 grand, double that. 8 leads a day, you guys. And you are going to learn the skills to start attracting customers to you. So here's what I want to know. If you are thinking about starting tonight at the 900, I want you to drop a 1 right now because I need to see the names just because I need to know if you do start that I need to know that you were on the call so I can give you free lifetime access into my coaching. So drop a 1 if you are thinking about starting. And then what you're going to do is you are going to get back with the person that invited you here. Let me see. Oh, and then, sorry. Actually, Ashley, yeah, if you do have a minute, do you want to hop in and talk about, so we are also doing something else in August. And I'm going to let Ashley share this with you, and then we're going to open it up for Q&A. Let me find her real fast.
Okay, so honestly, this is really huge. And I wish that we had this when I started, because I told you guys I needed things broke down step by step, dot to dot. I needed it simple. So in August, in the community, you're also getting this for free. And this is valued at over $400. And you're getting it for free right now. And I wish so badly we had it when I started. Okay, so what you're getting, we're calling it a 30-day momentum map. So in addition to the amazing promo that Victoria just threw in about getting her coaching, right? Y'all are going to get daily videos inside of the DGC community. Okay. In that, we have a couple things. We have a momentum map, which is literally 30 days of step-by-step how to start from scratch on a brand new platform. I wish we had that when I started. I started a brand new account. I didn't know how to find my followers. I didn't know what to post. I didn't know what to put in my bio. None of that. Step-by-step breakdown. Okay, so we have a couple things that you're getting with it. It already has, like, this actually, by the way, starts day one of this, starts tomorrow. Okay, on the 4th is day one, is tomorrow. So you have not missed a single day, but I've printed it out because I'm a super visual learner. I like paper in my hands. You're getting a 30-day like momentum mapped motivational calendar. Every single day, there's something different on here to help keep you motivated and helps you know exactly what to focus on, bite size, so that it does not feel overwhelming. Okay. You're also getting the accountability tracker. This is huge. I don't know about you guys. I love checking things off of a list when I get stuff done. So having this combo, huge. Okay, the combo of the daily training that you're going to get inside of the DGC. By the way, if you're already in the DGC, I'm doing the coaching call tomorrow. You're getting day one of the momentum map. You're getting Victoria's coaching. I'm not kidding you guys. Like, I truly wish we had this combination of things when I first started. If you have even considered it, this is probably as good as it's going to get as a time to jump in. All right, I'll let Victoria answer questions and stuff. If you have a question, seriously raise your hand. There's no judgment here. There's no bad questions. Ask your questions. Now's the time.
And honestly, I feel like there's not a question that we haven't heard. And we have all asked the question. So if you do have a question and you are thinking about starting, make sure you raise your hand, but you need to have your camera on and I will unmute you. Anybody have a question? Or you could type it in the chat as well. That is also fine. I will give it a minute and see if anybody types it in the chat. Let me see.
I haven't seen it pop up yet, but one of the questions that I asked Victoria before I started was, how do taxes work? Do you want to answer that?
Oh, yeah. Great question. So when we say 100% profit, I mean, like, all of that is going straight to your account, which means that you need to just set aside certain amounts for taxes. And so typically what we do is, like, at the end of the month, we'll set aside 30 to 40% like for that month. We have not needed to pay upwards of 40%. So we just set aside 30% and now we've started filing quarterly. But that is something that I feel like people can kind of cross that bridge, like once they get there with filing quarterly. Up until this past year, like we weren't filing quarterly, like we were just doing it at the end of the year. But no, my husband handles all the taxes. So Ashley, I don't know if you have like.
So I think it's also really cool though, because you just get a 1099. It's super simple. Like, it really doesn't complicate your taxes that much. And especially like Victoria said, from when you're just starting off, like, I don't know much about taxes, I'll be honest. So I had to go and get a financial advisor. And so he kind of gave me, like, depending on my state, everybody, like, feel free to reach out to your own person, but in my state, if I'm having like a $5,000 month, I should keep 10% aside. If I'm having a
Mhm.
$10,000 month, he told me to bump it up and keep 20% aside. So just know that like from the very beginning, it's not like, dang, 40%, that's a big chunk. When you're
Right.
just starting off, it's a lot less. And good point, Ashley just said in the chat too, there are a ton of really good write-offs.
Everything is a write-off, you guys. Literally every trip that you take, it's a write-off. Like when Ashley said she saw me make like 5 grand when I was out of the country, that was right after I started, and we already had a trip planned to Ireland that we had saved for like a year for. And we actually paid for the trip while we were there, which was wild. But that whole trip was a write-off now, because if you are out of the country, if you're traveling somewhere and you're making money or you're making content, like that's all going to be a write off. Your cell phone, your house, not the whole house, but like areas. Anything like, if I have Starbucks in every single video, right? And so my Starbucks is a write off because it's part of my content, things like that. Yes, cell phone bill, everything. So yes. Let me see. Any other questions? Okay. Yes, my eyelashes. Exactly, Ashley, which is funny because I was like not wanting to do the call tonight. I am not a bougie girl, y'all. I'm really, really not. But ever since I started making this kind of an income, I've started treating myself a little more. And so I get my lashes done all the time now. And my girl had to cancel last week, so it's fine. Anyway, I hope that this helped to answer a lot of questions for you guys. If you do have other questions, make sure that you get back to whoever invited you here. That promo for you to get free lifetime access into my coaching community, that is tonight only. So you have until midnight tonight to be able to start. And then whoever you start with, they just need to send me a message that that you started, and I will get you into the community for free for life. That's usually a $67 value, you guys. That's for anybody who starts at the 900. So I really hope that this helped you to get a better understanding of exactly what we do, what digital marketing is, all of that good stuff. And I hope to see you guys in there soon. Bye.